Hey there, fellow hosts. Have you ever wondered why your Airbnb listing isn't performing the way that you think it should, or maybe you don't have enough reservations as much as you hoped? Maybe you've hit a booking slump, or you're struggling to get those coveted 5-star reviews. Well, you may be making some of the most common mistakes that I see Airbnb hosts make without even realizing it. So don't worry, today I'm going to go through, there's actually 7 different items that will take a look at some of the costly errors that you may be making, how to avoid them so you can skyrocket your bookings and truly maximize your income. Now, these aren't beginner mistakes. Even seasoned hosts fall into these. So stick around. There's one tip at the end that could save you thousands of dollars. Not only dollars, but a lot of headache. My name's Derek. I help short-term rental owners, just like you, level up their Airbnb game. And we started as owners ourselves with the goal of buying our own properties. We now own $3.2 million worth of short-term rentals, and we've developed a property management company that guarantees that we will double our clients' income in 90 days, or we're going to work for free until we do. So if you want to avoid hitting these hosting pitfalls and really learn the strategies that actually work, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you never miss out on tips that will take your hosting business to the next level. All right, so the biggest mistake that I see, it's a huge one. It's either underpricing or overpricing your listing. Now, here's the thing. Pricing your property, it's a science. It's not a guess. So if your rates are way too high, you're using your feelings. I feel like my home is worth more than it is. And look, maybe it actually is. You're going to be turning potential guests away that are browsing, for a deal. So if you set them too low, not only do you risk losing money and leaving money on the table, but you also attract bargain hunters and people that maybe shouldn't be in your property. So how do you find the sweet spot in the middle? Well, at Level Up, we use a tool like Price Labs. There's also Beyond Pricing. And what that will do, it's going to automatically adjust your rates based on the demand, the seasonality, local events. So this way you're going to stay competitive. Now, this is just the first step. You've really got to dial in those tools and know who your competition is in the neighborhood, in 6 blocks down, and exactly kind of what they're doing and if they're booked. Next up, biggest mistake I see is poor communication. So this to me is make or break. I know when I rent an Airbnb, I expect it, fairly immediate communication from the owner. It makes me feel better, right? And what I would say is most negative reviews, they are tied to bad communication. So inevitably things are going to go wrong, but it's how we respond as hosts that will make or break. And so what we want to do is we don't want them, to forget, or we don't relay check-in instructions. This can drive the guests crazy. So here's how you avoid this. Number 1, I would say be proactive, and number 2, responsive. What you can use is automation tools and check-in, check-out instructions. We want to make sure that we are replying fast to inquiries. Our standard at Level Up is 2 minutes or less. That a reservation comes in or a question comes in 2 minutes, we want to respond back to them. And Airbnb actually rewards hosts with higher rankings. So if you respond during the first hour, after the first hour, you get penalized. So let's be honest, who doesn't want to rank higher on Airbnb? All right, mistake number 3 is not investing in quality photos. This is a massive one. Your photos are the first impression that your guests are going to get of your property. So if they are dark, they're blurry, they're taken from bad angles, you take them with your iPhone, you will have a very difficult time converting views into bookings. And I would even argue that you won't even get the views. Airbnb will quickly realize that you don't have professional photos and de-rank you to near the last page because you don't have anything that's going to attract them. And how does Airbnb make money? When they get the booking. So what's the fix? You're going to hire a professional photographer, yes. And yes, it's an upfront cost. But what I would say is you've got to find the right photographer that's going to specialize in Airbnb. So great photos are going to lead to more clicks. More clicks are going to lead to more bookings. More bookings, if you do it right, are going to lead to more 5-star reviews. And it is a snowball effect. You want your photos to tell a story. So you will have your top 5 photos and then a 3D layout of what the home looks like, and then walk through the actual home. You want to capture that cozy, reading nook. You want the perfect breakfast view, luxury like a hot tub or a fire pit and twilight in the sky. You want your guests to imagine themselves there at your home because you're not just selling your home, you're selling time, you're selling an experience. All right, next up, ignoring your reviews, whether it's good feedback, bad feedback. This is gold for improving your listing, but I'm going to argue, and there may be some controversy, you got to catch this before it becomes a negative review. So what you want to do, check in with them 4 hours after they check in. There's different ways you can know that a guest has checked in. Automation is the best one, but we want to send a message and say, hey, are you having a 5-star experience? If not, what's the issue and how can we fix it? Really we want to QC check 2 times during their stay. And then after they check out, Airbnb is going to send them a request for a review about 3 p.m. the day they check out. So what I would recommend, preemptively send them one that says, hey, I've written a great review for you. I hope you had a 5-star experience. If you don't mind, it really helps out our small business. Please leave a review for me. And this is going to, ask them for a review. That's right. You should never have a bad review. All right. Mistake number 5. This next mistake, I would say, is a silent killer. And you don't know it's happening until you are making no money. It's a silent killer, right? It's not optimizing your listing according to Airbnb's algorithm, which, listen, we're not going to get too deep into that. That's another topic. But if your listing isn't popping up on the first page, and there's a percentage in insights, then you are losing a massive amount of reservations. So, if you've got guests that are coming in, they're searching in your area, it doesn't matter how great your property is or how great you think it is, people aren't going to find it. Now, this one is a fairly in-depth topic. We don't have a lot of time to go into it today, but you want to start out with your title. Your title should be at the top amenities: hot tub, near the river, heated pool, fire pit, games. You've got 50 characters. All that make your home different. You want to make sure all your amenities are filled out. Yes, even an iron, that does matter. And you want to make sure your listing description has at least 1,000 words. The more the better. Use 5 bullet points to highlight top 5 amenities and why they should book. And all of these things are going to allow you to rank higher. All right, mistake number 6 is going to be failing to set clear house rules. Now, let's talk about house rules. Failing to set clear and firm house rules can lead to some really messy situations, but you've got to be able to communicate what's acceptable and what's not. Otherwise, you're going to leave yourself completely wide open for problems. Maybe it's loud parties, unexpected pets, extra guests that weren't on the reservation. The fix, fairly straightforward. You've got to screen your guests and you've got to make sure you are crystal clear on your listing and your house rules. So you can use a verification system like what we use. It's called Auto Host. That will allow for a driver's license, a selfie, sign a rental agreement. You've got to screen them through. Have them sign a rental agreement. Simple, friendly message that's going to go out to them and ask them to acknowledge that. Now, this is all going to lead to, a smoother stay and, more importantly, better reviews for you. It's going to set the proper expectations. Finally, mistake number 7. This one is probably one of the most important of everything. I would actually argue this is the most important, for sure. It's overlooking the guest experience. Now, we could go a whole 30 minutes on this. Remember, you're not just providing a place to stay, you are creating an experience. Otherwise, they just stay in a hotel room. So from the moment the guests book to the time they check out, every interaction and the experience matters. So go the extra mile. Here's what we do. We're going to leave a handwritten note on the entry table. Make sure all the lamps are turned on in the bedrooms for a great night arrival. Provide local recommendations and a guidebook, which is delivered instantly after they book. Even the smell. You can use a diffuser on a timer, or there's a Pura Smart diffuser, smart air freshener. And of course, we want to check in 4 hours after we have the guest check in to make sure that it is a 5-star experience. So there you have it. Those are the top 7 common mistakes that we see Airbnb hosts make and how you can avoid them. So whether you're new to hosting, congratulations, or you've been doing it for a long time, these are all pitfalls that happen to all of us. And more importantly, that these can help you create a 5-star guest experience, which is just going to snowball and create more bookings for you and your family. And ultimately, it's going to boost your income. One quick ask, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Somehow it helps with the algorithm that is YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on leveling up your Airbnb game. If you have made any of these mistakes before or have any other hosting tips, please drop them below. Let's help each other out. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.